Sorry, I'm dancing to the music that was playing in my headphones before, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Real Boys!
Woo, woo, woo! That's weird.
Up?
Yeah, usually Dylan tells me when we're back from things, so I don't really know when to start talking until Dylan says that.
Yeah, Dylan's like, just gives you the cue. Go, go, go!
Yeah. Well, no, he always says, we're back. And then that means, all right, Zach, talk for 1 hour straight.
Pretty much, yeah. You do all the talking generally for all our shows. When you show up on the Real Boys, it's just you.
No.
And we have opinions.
Well, okay. So
don't lie. No. It's true.
Okay, number one, I talk when I'm nervous. And there are some real podcast moguls on this show, and I get nervous around some real podcasters.
Stop. You're gonna make me blush.
And really, when I listen to the shows I'm not on, there's so much just down like blank space and like nobody talks. And I'm like, dude, if I was on there, I would just be talking. And I feel like it's easy for someone else to chime in than other people to like maintain the conversation.
True. So it's hard for me to fill the void because my job as on my podcast, I'm interviewing people. So I have to shut up most of the time.
Yeah.
And the only time I get to really talk is when I'm being interviewed. So being on this show is generally if Mike's on it, I'm fighting with him because he's a commie and I'm a capitalist.
He's a communist?
I don't know. He could be a communist. I don't know what Mike is. Mike is Mike.
I don't think he's a communist, but
he's
a
socialist maybe. I don't know.
In all fairness, I have not asked him what his preference is, so I'm not going to get into that. But we might as well introduce what this show is, in case people aren't caring. This, my friends, is the Real Boys. This is a show in which 8. Sometimes 2. It can get up to 8. But it's all just fans of media, fans of movies, fans of just a whole lot of things, really. So we got a whole bunch of podcasters together. It was actually Mr. DL Smokes' idea.
Yeah.
He reached out to everybody. Really cool concept. And what he wanted was a bunch of people that did not know each other and to kind of review movies. And we came up with the concept of, hey, how about we have like our top 5 and then all make fun of Phil's?
Yeah,
and,
pretty much.
And
the only successful one. Let's make fun of him.
Yeah.
Chris is the celebrity of the group.
Oh, nope. That was... Sorry, I thought it was an underlay, but it clearly says overlay, which is weird. I meant to do like maybe this. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, we were just in some kind of void for a little bit.
We were.
So we have a whole bunch of people that's on this show, and what we do, like I said, we have our top 5, which is our favorite 5 movies, and then we're just gonna have people, our friends, our new friends, review them, and sometimes they don't like these movies, and sometimes we don't like our own movies, and that's a shout out to Michael Colby specifically because he picked very, very bad movies.
Apparently, according to him, I pick horrible movies, and some of the group agrees.
Well, Michael Colby he's easily quotable, and that is one that I will take. Yeah, you do pick pretty bad movies, but we have a whole bunch of people that are on this show. Myself, my name is Zach Wiseman. I am the co-founder and co-speaker for Some Nobodies with my sister,
heterosexual life mate. He's your heterosexual life mate.
Yeah,
you guys are Jay and Silent Bob for this generation. That's all it is. You're not silent at all.
Oh, I thought that I was the J. Yeah,
you're Jay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Why would Dylan be the J?
Of all things. Well, he has longer hair. He has longer hair than you.
Oh, he does rock a trench coat very well. But so we have our friends Dylan Terry. You can hear him on Some Nobodies. We have Michael Colby from Generation Clash and Jack Billings Presents and some other scary, weird shows.
He has so many amazing podcasts. So I've been slow following the podcast. I will admit I've been busy with my client work because that's what I do, but I've just jumped into Jack Billings and holy shit, the writing and the production is so amazing.
Yeah,
I've been blown away by it.
I agree. And if you like that, I would definitely suggest Silicon Angels. It is probably better written and more funny.
I wonder why is it better written?
Because Dylan did it. Some other people we got on the show. You have Mr. Chris Harvey, a great comedian from the Atlanta area. You can catch him live probably every Thursday and Friday at any rundown Chuck E. Cheese's or the back of Walmart's trying to help people put stuff into their van, whether they bought it or not. He doesn't care. Like I said earlier, we have Mr. DL Smokes who concocted this whole idea, and he has an awesome show called Oops, Caught Me Smoking. Please check that out. A really cool podcast if you're into cannabis. Or
not only cannabis, he has a whole bunch of interesting people, not just in the industry, but also connected subpar, like musicians and actors and actresses. So there's a lot of amazing people on it. I've been on it, so it's all, you already know it's a great show.
Yeah, and I was on it first, so it's a very good show, and he's sweeping up.
It only got better with me.
Fair. But because of me, they got guests like you. Anyway, and then we have Mr. Justin Wallace, and he has got the awesome show Anime Shenanigans, which is a great show if you're into anime and you're into slightly southern draws. I would definitely check that out because it is hilarious when you get past the mumbling and the beer can opening. And then the person who chose the movie today, we have Mr. Jerrion Smith. He is from the Cloud Chronicles. Phenomenal show. I've also been on that show. I'm not sure if you've been on that yet.
I'm going to be on. He wants to have the mogul on. He said, I could bring up the text. It says the mogul on. Yeah,
and that's only because he doesn't know your actual name.
Yeah, no one does. No one does.
Yeah, it's like whatever. You're a podcaster. So yeah, but we're going to talk about this amazing movie that Mr. Jerrion Smith. It is his #2 favorite movie, and it is called The Last Dragon. Sometimes it's called Berry Gordy's Last Dragon. And if you don't know what this is, it's a 1985 martial arts comedy. Kind of blaxploitation, produced by Rupert Hitzig for Berry
and
Gordy.
Motown. And Motown.
Dude, phenomenal soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
what a great soundtrack!
This movie was perfect. Like,
dude, everything about this movie is almost perfect. Yeah. Directed by Michael Schultz. This movie stars Taimak. It stars Vanity, which was Prince's girlfriend / his muse for a while. Julius Carry, Christopher Murney. It also has William H. Macy in it, which is crazy. And it has Danny Aiello from Dumb and Dumber and other movies. But yeah, this is a crazy movie with kung fu breakdancing.
I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get over the glow. I'm trying to get the glow, which was like the most important thing in the whole movie.
What the glow was awesome. Like everything about this movie was just so cool. From like even just the beginning. Yeah, like
over the top.
All right, so let's hop into the plot, and hopefully Mr. Smith will hop in here. Any other real boys will pop in eventually just to see what's going on and give us their reels. But so this movie is set in New York City, and it follows the martial artist named Leroy Green, also known as Bruce Leroy, who has dreams of becoming the greatest martial artist like his idol Bruce Lee. His master explains that he has reached a final level of martial art accomplishment known as the Last Dragon, which completes the circle. Martial artists who reach the final level are said to be able to concentrate such mystical energy in their hands that they begin to glow. Only a true martial artist master would be able to exhibit the glow over his entire body. Leroy doesn't fully understand, and in possession of a medal supposedly belonging to Bruce Lee, Leroy he embarks upon a spiritual journey to find Master Dim Sum Goy, who his master claims can help Leroy unlock the power of the glow. Now, just as a premise alone, cool, right?
Yeah. The right? Glow is the problem I have. Okay, I'm sorry. It's the glow.
Dude, the glow.
I'm trying to find the glow.
Oh man, it's so interesting because that's like, that's the idea of Iron Fist, which obviously was a comic, but it's like just harnessing all of your chi together to get that thing.
Using the word chi, it's your glow.
Yeah, it can't be chi. Yeah. Now, so in the beginning, when he's learning from the master, and he has got the arrows being shot at him, and he deflects one of them and he breaks the arrow, right? I don't know if you noticed, Phil, better, but that was a real stunt. It took them hours to actually film that. They really shot arrows at him. They really they really made him hit these arrows, which was so cool.
It reminds me of like in the early Westerns or early movies, they used to actually shoot live bullets at actors.
And like you got dance.
Yeah, and then they just stopped because the actors were like, "Yeah, no, we're not doing this anymore." But in this movie, they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna shoot arrows. It's not as dangerous as bullets."
Yeah. They're like, "Hey, I don't think we should shoot real bullets at us anymore." And they go, "We'll give you stunt doubles. How about that? We're still keeping the real bullets."
Oh, we got Red Flanagan yelling at me.
Really?
Yeah, in the comments.
Oh,
Sorry,
wait.
Zach. So that everybody knows, Zach is currently directing 2 shows. This one and then another show because
Yeah,
he's
it's
that
true.
popular, and he doesn't get. I'm keeping an eye on the comments for Zach, so it's easier for him. But Red Flanagan shooting us here. The glow is just being. It's just kind of being in the zone, the spiritual zone. It's not all that complicated.
Yeah.
It is. Have
not
you ever
that
gotten into the glow or the zone or whatever it is?
It's not that complicated, Phil. You get.
I'm sorry, I'm not a martial arts god.
Well, I don't. What do they have like martial arts in Canada, or is it like a? I mean, I would assume so, right? They have like dojos and stuff, right?
We had the greatest MMA fighter for the longest time, Mr. George St. Pierre, Mr. GSP himself.
You mean Balrog the Leaper?
Yes, yeah, Balrog the Frog or whatever his name was.
That's cool. Nah, George St. Pierre is great. But yeah, the glow, awesome. I'm into it completely. I'm into it.
I love that they took our normal thing like the chi, and they're like, we're gonna make it our own, and it's gonna be the glow. Now, whether or not, because I don't know about you, I've never seen anybody glow, quote unquote, like they do in this movie, but I've seen other glows.
Okay, no. like the glamorous ladies of wrestling.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant.
I hope so. All right, well, let's just move on from here. So now there's another martial artist in this story, and his name is Shonuff, also known as the Shogun of Harlem. And he sees Leroy as the only obstacle being acknowledged as a true master of martial arts. Leroy refuses to fight him, and a furious Shonuff vows that he will defeat Leroy. Now, Shonuff and his gang, they break in and they assault Johnny Yu, one of the students at Leroy's martial arts school, and demanding that Leroy bow before Shonuff. Finally, Shonuff and his gang attempt to send a message to Leroy by destroying the Green Family Pizza restaurant. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the movie theater scene for a second, because that is so crazy. I don't know how they got the rights to an actual Bruce Lee movie, but obviously,
do you think they got the rights?
Yeah. Hang on a second. Red Flanagan, and also Phil, will you read this for me, because your voice was pretty great.
The final fight with the glow is an amazing raroscope effect, really distinct from other big fight scenes. Plus, it kind of emphasizes Bruce Leroy as a stacked himbo for the ladies. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Leroy is stacked, and I was like, meh.
Yeah. No, Leroy's awesome. And I completely agree with everything Red Flanagan says. Obviously, always. He's great.
It's you, isn't it? You're Red Flanagan, aren't you?
No, actually, Red Flanagan it's Dylan's friend, and he is way smarter than I am. And he really helps
everyone
out.
is, though.
But that's not really true. But he helps out on Tuesdays when Dylan and I have our Talking Up stream where we create stuff. But so Shonuff, I don't know if you know this, he did not know any martial arts at the when starting to film this movie.
Like 90% of actors who go into the martial art films.
Yeah, I think it's pretty evident when he does it, though, because one of the fight scenes, he bites a guy's leg. And I'm like, there's no way that's martial arts. I don't think
I guess he's in the school of Mike Tyson.
What's that?
The school of Mike Tyson?
That's not a martial art.
And neither is biting and boxing.
Well, that's true.
Zach, keep your hands in frame while I type so we can prove we're 2 different people.
Well, I can't. How do I get the comment off there then?
We leave it until he gets another comment.
Okay, there we go.
You just keep your hands up, Zach. Just keep them up.
Okay.
Like the police are here. No.
I think my favorite part of the movie scene was the fact that Bruce Leroy is eating popcorn with chopsticks. I don't know why that made me so angry. I don't really know why.
I knew a person who did that.
No way. They brought chopsticks to the theater.
Well, not to the theater. Like, I worked in a call center for a long time, and you meet really strange people at a call center, obviously. No, who would think? He would eat all his chips with chopsticks. Anything, like, we would have a potluck, and anything that was like powdery or anything, chopsticks all the time. I'm like, why? And he's like, it just keeps my hands clean. And I'm like, yeah. Good point. Because you're working in a call center, you share desks, even if you wipe it down, more dirt than that. But I was like, oh, that's genius. And I was too lazy to do it because it's a lot of work to learn to use chopsticks to eat.
Yep, and I'm the dumb one.
I never said I wasn't dumb. Let's just point out.
I want to be, thank you for being very clear about that. Did anything else about in the movie theater scenes pop off to you? Why was Sho'nuff there only really just to fight? Because he picked on Bruce Leroy's younger brother, right? And I guess he kidnapped him. But he's like, who's the baddest brother around? And he's like, Bruce Leroy. It's like, I'm gonna kill that guy.
Martials come from Mars, the Roman god of war. So martial arts are just violent, considered as an art form. Depending on your perspective, fighting can be artistic or sexy. It's true. Honestly, it can be sexy, apparently.
So he's saying that martial arts is an alien form of fighting because it comes from Mars. Cool.
Yeah, okay. Let's go with that.
I get it.
You're the smart one.
It makes sense here. Listen, it's only us two, buddy. It's just our show right now,
and we can do whatever we want.
I know. I hope
we don't even have to review this movie.
We'll review
it because it's an amazing movie.
Well, yeah, we're definitely going to review it. Yeah, I would definitely check it out. But don't watch the one that's on YouTube because it's sped up by a little bit, and it's very hard to watch.
I watched the trailer after watching the movie. I watched the trailer. The trailer is just oozing the 80s. It's like it dipped itself in 80s and then went and dipped itself again into the 80s.
Everything about this, like I said earlier, and I'm not sure if I think we were backstage when I said it.
Yeah,
this is the most 80s movie that I think I've ever seen. Everything about it is so you look at the wallpaper or a back alley, you're like, well, that's
the hair.
Yeah, everything. There's the two main actors have one names. That's it, just Vanity. That's an 80s move right there.
That's pure 80s. You're dropping it there with the 80s with that one name.
And it's so crazy, to think that in this movie, every single person, like I said to you earlier, either does kung fu or awesome breakdancing, and sometimes both masterfully. And I think the only person that really does a bad job at kung fu is Sho'nuff for some reason. Although he has such a presence, he's not scary, but I don't know. Is he a good gang leader?
No. I don't understand why he has his thugs, quote unquote, dressed in the weirdest costumes.
Yeah.
And then you have I completely forgot that there's a scene that Leroy is wearing the or something similar to Bruce Lee's one yellow tracksuit that he wears in in the actual Last Dragon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but okay, we have to bring up some of these costumes.
I have to. You want me to bring them up visually?
Yes, visually.
Okay, well, hang on a second. I don't know if I can do that.
I got it. Hold on.
Wait, you can do that from there?
Yeah, I share my screen.
Oh,
you allow me to share my screen.
Did I do that?
Yeah, at the bottom, direct. You see my screen just popped up. Look at this. This is the 80s, people. Anybody's like, oh, the 80s were the best time. No, because we had fashion like this. This is why no one wants the 80s to come back.
Dude, that is so cool. And the first time I saw that again, I was like, whoa, that's Busta Rhymes. Remember that Busta Rhymes video where he's dressed like Sho'nuff? And I completely forgot about that until right now.
Oh my God. Wait. Also, here's the rotoscope that Mr. Red Flanagan is talking about. Beautiful. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can see the black outline of this.
Oh. Don't be racist, Phil.
I'm not. I'm saying that. You son of a bitch. You've led me.
How dare you? How dare you?
But this scene, this whole moment when he goes to punch, at first I thought, did he just punch his face? And he just took the punch on the jaw and was like, haha, you can't kill me. I'm too good. But then it pulls back and you see him catch it was in his fist. And then he starts glowing. And I'm like,
well, okay. So for those that are listening to this and not watching it, will you please just describe the last two pictures that you brought up?
All right. So hold on. The first picture I brought up, you have Shogun in what he hopes is a shogun, like a Japanese or an Asian suit, or what a master would wear, I guess, with a hell of a championship belt on. If you ever seen the old WCW World Heavyweight belt from wrestling, that it kind of looks like that. And then you have his goons, I guess, in patchwork padded vests. They took a North Face jacket and just cut off the sleeves and the hood because it's that puffy.
See,
Um,
you don't get that much. You don't get like that kind of stuff anymore in
no,
gangs. Like the outfit budget of this gang had to be just incredible. Like you don't buy this stuff, which means one part of the gang is making the
yeah,
clothes for the entire gang.
yeah, it
I
is.
love it.
Yeah, their outfits are. I have to say, I have to give credit to the outfit because if I saw a gang walking down the street wearing those outfits, I'd be like, I'm not. One, I thought there was a LARPing competition probably happening, but I'm also not going to fuck with those people because they have the balls to walk out in public wearing that. So
Yeah.
they're bad, at least thinking they're badasses. The
Well,
other
wait.
pick,
While we're talking about Shogun, because I want you to keep this visual in mind. The other people that were up for this role, just so you know, Jim Brown. Now thinking about Jim Brown wearing this costume is so cool. You have Billy D. Williams that was up for this role. You have Carl Weathers, and these people were they kind of wanted the role, but unfortunately the producers couldn't get the money to back them.
To be fair, you got Carl Weathers. That's your whole budget right there.
Yeah,
God.
But you have these people like auditioning for this role, which is so incredible. For some reason, like this movie, like it was about like it got a critical failure of like a review.
On Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised because they don't like. It's a whole bunch of white people on Rotten Tomatoes. Come on, let's be honest. Anything that's accentuates the black culture, they fucking hate.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a toxic waste file. Red did just say, Shonuff is the Warrior cinematic universe. They are rivals to the Foot Clan, TMNT. Also, TMNT stands for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, created by both Peter Laird and shit, I forgot the other one. Hold on. What? I've met him. Shit.
Well, I hope he doesn't watch this because he's going to be upset.
I highly doubt he watches this.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it. What's his name?
I don't know.
Hold on.
This is good. This is good showtime.
This is not good showtime. Fill up the talkie-talkie. You do good talkie-talkie.
Are we still waiting for you to think about
Kevin Eastman?
Phil?
Kevin Eastman.
Hell yeah.
I asked you to do the talkie-talkie.
Oh, I thought you said Phil do the talkie-talkie.
No, I said you do the talkie-talkie. Phil the talkie-talkie. Phil the talkie-talkie.
Phil. You can't use your name.
I didn't use my name. I used the other F-I-L-L, Phil, as in fill in the time with talkie-talkie.
Oh, I thought you meant like fill in the bucket with the whatever. I don't know. That's one of your.
You're failing at the jokes tonight.
That's not true. That's not true. I really don't have a good audience though. It's you like sipping out of your old.
Hey, we got
cup.
Red Flanagan, our number one fan here.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. Where's the guy that hates Michael Colby so much?
I don't know if he's watching because Colby's not on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He actually was my. So, did you go through the comments on that video for the Boondock Saints?
Oh yeah.
Holy I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like I'm proud that I had someone in my corner, but some of the things I was like, wow, boy, you're just being horrible to Mike. I like Mike to a certain extent, but But anyways, going back to the fashion icons that are in this movie, you have leopard print, tiger print going on here. You got the flaming of the hair in the back. Look at the flare on this woman in the back.
Beautiful.
That is dedication. That's 2 hours of time to get your hair looking like that.
Beautiful.
And then we're going to go with the previous one with the rotoscope glow that I was talking about that you called me a racist for, which I'm not. But you have Leroy, mouth agape, if you will, in either surprise or in just like, oh yeah. And he has this orangey glow around him, but as well, you can see the thin black line that rotoscoped him out to separate him from the scene. And holy crap, it's 80s glory. It's the 80s. Whenever you watch like an old 80s movie and they're like, we could do CGI, and you're watching and you're like, you should not have done CGI. It wasn't, you weren't ready. But this is like, the glow is just
beautiful.
It's just special.
Now, speaking of Bruce Leroy, the actors that were up for this role, Billy Blanks was very close to being cast. But Wesley Snipes, Mario Van Peebles, and Denzel Washington also kind of audition. They actually just offered it to Denzel, and he turned it down.
Yeah, Denzel ain't gonna try for this one. He's getting that envelope and saying, "Here's $100,000, please."
Now, there was one actor that was lobbying hard for this movie, and it was Lawrence Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne wanted this role very, very badly, which I thought was very cool. But once again, because of budgetary, they only had a $10 million budget, and they really wanted to...
They spent it mainly on the hair and in the clothes.
Honestly, it was probably the soundtrack and the rotoscoping glow. Yeah, because like once that happens, like, whew, there's a lot of money right there.
I'm trying to remember. There's a recent movie that had like this huge budget, but 90% of it went to special effects, and the special effects were not that good for it. I can't remember it. Anyways, not important.
All right, well, back to
this piece of mastery.
Yeah. So while the destruction of the pizza place is going on, the video arcade mogul Eddie Arcadian sends his men to kidnap Seventh Heaven VJ Laura Charles in the hopes in getting his girlfriend Angela Veracco's new music video featured on her show. The kidnapped attempt is thwarted by Leroy, who easily fends off the thugs. He loses his medal during the struggle, which Laura recovers. Later, Leroy witnesses Laura being kidnapped by Arcadian's brutish henchman Rock. A clue left behind reveals that the kidnappers work for Eddie Arcadian Productions. So when Vanity, when she meets Bruce Leroy, she is really into him.
Really? Like, did you see that chest and abs? Like, come on.
No, he's fine. I'm great. But like, she is like, everything he says, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and she's like, "I'll make you sorry." You know, like everything that he says.
Like, she's on the prowl. That was a huntress on the prowl.
Yeah, like even that one scene where like they're walking out of that place together, and she drops her purse. For some reason, in her purse was like 6 of those makeup containers with like the mirror. Like, I don't know who carries 6 of them, and she had like 6 makeups or lipstick.
Because it's for each different color that she has to put on.
Maybe, but either way.
I don't know.
Either way, she drops it and he goes to get it, and he's like, "Oh, let me get that for her." And she goes, "Leroy, you don't have to do that." And like, she barely touches his hand, dude disappears, just dips on her, and she's like, "Oh, where did he go? That was crazy." But like, every time he says anything, she's like, let's just make out, Leroy." It's just so weird, like watching her talk to him. But I loved every second of it. Now, what did you think of Eddie Arcadian?
I didn't understand. I kind of understood why they needed him as a villain, but at the same time, I'm like, you already have this other villain who's the martial arts villain, and like, why aren't you just using him? Like, why do you need this secondary villain for no reason? I think it's just because they wanted to get some of the white people in.
Well, you did need to figure out a way to get the damsel in distress. I mean, it's a classic 80s movie, so you need a woman to save. And
also they hated conglomerates and business tycoons were the main villains of most movies at that time.
Yeah. And obviously like his girlfriend, I guess at the time, whatever she was, but that was like supposed to be Cyndi Lauper, and that's how that was. It was like, if we could just get Cyndi Lauper onto this radio station, then she'll be famous. And that's, I guess, that big bad guy plot going on there.
I didn't like it was like just there.
Yeah,
like it was just added because they're like, oh, we need to run time more and we need something else. Like, they could have done I would have personally found it like more entertaining if they didn't have like the white person in it. Like, if it was just fully quote unquote black exploitation. I can't ever say that word, but it was just concentrated on Leroy versus Shogun, and just have that like epic moments between them and his crew stealing her away because she's the power of Brooklyn, you know, like he wants to overtake Brooklyn. She's the voice of Brooklyn. If he can get her on her side, then boom, he can become the leader of Brooklyn. And then you have, you know, our good boy Leroy saving the day. But then you just like, let's throw in this white horrible person into this so that we can, you know, just have show how bad white people are. Which I'm fine with, but at the same time, it's like this movie could have done way better without that in it. It was just burdening. I felt it was like an anchor to it.
Yeah, it definitely was like they're like, well, what's the story? And it's like, oh, well, I guess Sho'nuff wants to beat the shit out of Bruce Leroy, and it's like, well, what's the story? It's like, all right, well, maybe Sho'nuff kidnaps Bruce's or Leroy's little brother, and it's like, yeah, but what's the story? Like, okay,
they're all on coke. They're all coked out. Like,
Yeah.
what's the story?
And it's like, have you seen Airheads? Let's throw Airheads in the middle of this. Like, let's break in there and kidnap some people just to play a song over the radio.
Yeah. They probably saw Airheads, or Airheads probably was in. You know what? Airheads, the people who wrote Airheads, watch this movie. We're like, I love that white point. Let's bring it in and make it a full movie.
Yeah.
That's how Airheads was made. Thanks to this movie.
Yeah. They're like, you know what I like about Bruce Leroy? It's that weird subplot about the kidnapping. All right. So now Laura refuses to promote Angela's video in her program, obviously.
Which is good because it's a horrible video.
Horrible video. And Laura's awesome. But as our Arcadian's men prepare to coerce her by force, Leroy suddenly bursts into the room, clothed as a ninja, and rescues Laura once again. Now, back at her apartment, Laura gratefully returns Leroy's medal. Consumed with vengeance, though, Arcadian hires Sho'nuff to defeat Leroy and takes control of the Seventh Heaven Studios, capturing Laura and Leroy's younger brother, Richie, who he's snuck in hoping to woo Laura. So this is where like the plot starts evolving a little bit, and we're like, all right,
we go from sub level, like we're down here, and now well, let's add some more to it. Let's just keep going down.
They're like, you know what? Actually, so far it's just a very, very good music video. Let's try to.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought Prince had directed this movie at some points because like you all of a sudden they break out in like song shit, and you're like.
Yeah, well, Vanity, you know, she just got done filming a Purple Rain for this, and Berry Gordy has signed her to a 4-picture contract because of how good, you know, Purple Rain was and everything. So it makes sense. This does have that feel of a Prince movie. And like I said, Vanity was, for a while, Vanity was Prince's muse. Like him and her were like inseparable for a while in the 80s, and he wrote a lot of songs just for her, which is beautiful, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, like, look, Prince is like, he's Prince, like just like Michael Jackson's Michael Jackson, the king of pop. Prince is Prince, like undeniable what he's brought to the musical world with his skills, like Hendrix and all those greats. But this movie just feels like Prince was like, I want this added. Prince was it felt Prince vibes at points.
Oh, absolutely. We keep talking about like how cool the soundtrack is. The soundtrack had Vanity on it, Stevie Wonder, Rockwell, El DeBarge, The Temptations,
Motown fucking greats.
Yeah.
Motown fucking gods.
But to have like Motown beautiful songs done to kung fu and breakdancing was just so explosive. And
I'm sorry, I love bringing that Motown feel into like a martial arts film, because most of the martial arts film, it's like you got that classical type music going on, or you got the Japanese musical instruments playing, which is phenomenal to it because it plays well. But then you're getting this genre breaking type music, like this music that's made to move your body. And what is martial arts but it's a choreographed dance at points. So I loved how they brought it in, and it was great. But at the same time, I'm like, holy shit, this is some big ass names that you got on this soundtrack for this movie that I feel like is no offense to this movie, it's an amazing movie, but it's more of a C movie. Like, it's not one of those main. I don't feel like it had the mainstream pop that most of the 80s kind of had, and that's because of it was mainly a black film made for a different group, not my group or my demographic actually at the time. But like, you have this amazing mix, and I'm like, this is awesome. And I never thought I would be listening to like Motown while seeing guys kick the shit out of each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the movie has a great director, though, Michael Schultz, who, if you don't know, he did, if you ever seen Cooley High, like those old 70s, like beautiful movies like Car Wash and Crush Groove. So he has, he's known for like mixing cool visuals with beautiful soundtracks, and, you know, having his toehold in the Motown aspect, I think gave him such really cool credence to bring that to this movie too. I just wish this movie got bigger in the 80s, because it should have. Yeah. All right. So,
but again, it didn't fit the demographic that was in power at the time. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, kung fu movies in the 80s also kind of dipped, and the 80s were a weird time for movies.
80s was just weird, period.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like, look, we were born in the 80s. Like, we are products of the 80s.
Mhm.
So we're just as fucked up as this movie.
That's true. Okay, so now posing as a pizza delivery man, Leroy manages to infiltrate the assumed lair of Master Sum Dum Goy within a fortune cookie factory, but is shocked to discover that the master is only a computer churning out cookie fortunes. Leroy consults his former master for answers, but his master suggests that Leroy has known the answers all along. Classic
Always
80s.
the former, you have them inside of you all along.
Yeah.
I am no longer your master.
It's look in your pocket. You've had it the entire time. It's like, what? It's inspiration. I didn't know.
It's the glow.
Yeah. Which so when he breaks into that place and he sees that it's just like a robot churning out fortunes, that was dude, this movie's so cool. I was so happy about this. When I saw this on the list, I was so excited because like I said before, like I'm an old Blockbuster kid. I started working at Blockbuster when I was 17, and like there was like a couple older guys that worked there, and they're like, you gotta watch this. This is what, this is a real movie. This is a real movie. And I watched like all these really cool movies when I was young, and this is one of those movies that like they
So you were in the AV club.
I was such a theater nerd and the AV kid. Yeah, that was definitely me.
So we had something similar. I was actually in theater as well when I was in high school and that. I worked at a movie theater, not Blockbuster, because the Blockbusters were very anal about who they hired. But the movie theaters were like, oh, you can hire, you want to work? Okay, fine.
Wait, what was wrong with you that a Blockbuster wouldn't take you?
Fuck if I know. Well, also, like,
it seems like
my parents had a lot of late fees.
You guys were blacklisted for Blockbuster. That's funny. Yeah, no, I worked at Blockbuster.
No, there was like only like one Blockbuster close to where I lived, because I live in a French province. So we had Videotron, which is another conglomerate of internet, television, and all that shit here. They had more, like they had Super Club Videotrons all over the place. So we only had a couple Blockbusters in Quebec.
Yeah,
and they were always full of staff. Like they were staffed up. So like me trying to apply was like, yeah, sure. When we get if we need someone, we'll call you. And it was like, fuck that. I'm going to a movie theater. They got more turnover than anybody else.
That's true. And free popcorn nonstop.
God, no. When you work in a movie theater, you don't want that fucking popcorn, man.
Dude, when you work in a movie theater, you take home literal trash bags full of popcorn.
Nope. They wouldn't let us.
Okay, I worked at a Regal Cinema in friggin' Delaware, and I would leave with 55 gallons.
Yeah, I worked for a Famous Players, so that there's a difference. More corporate. It was a corporate, like very corporate square. Like they had a green line, a green fucking line when you would walk out of the staff room or the players room, or what they called backstage. And when because they had the Disney idea. They had this Disney preps. Like once you step past that, you're now on scene. So you need to smile, you need to be happy, gracious. Never point with one finger, always point with four. Like they had the blueprint from Disney, and that's what we were using. And our name tags had our name and our favorite movie underneath. And I'm not gonna say what my favorite movie is because I'll get lambasted.
Is it still Boondock Saints?
It was back then. Remember, 18-year-old Phil. 18-year-old Phil.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. This movie, like I've explained to you and the other guys, it's more the memories that I have with this movie and what it represents with my friendship with certain guys. That's why it's so high up. I realize the movie is shit. Ladies and gentlemen, I said it on the episode. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Just like Michael Colby.
Yeah,
I'll have to say it until this fucking show's done, because I'll never live it down. But
at
just
some
like
point,
Michael
you have to denounce it.
Yeah. I have to. I haven't I done enough. Like I feel like Kevin Hart up here, who was trying to host the Oscars. I'm sweating. You're making me sweat, Mike. Michael's not even on this podcast, and I'm getting shit for my movie. God damn it.
Well, you just called me Michael, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right, so now not wanting anyone to get hurt in the process after achieving her stardom, Angela leaves Arcadian and asks Johnny to warn Leroy about his plan. As Leroy turns to seventh heaven, he's ambushed by an army of violent thugs hired by Arcadian. Leroy's students, led by Johnny, charge into the studio to even the odds, using Laura as bait. Eddie lures Leroy to a dilapidated building where he finally faces off against Shonuff. During the battle, Sho'nuff reveals that his ability to use the glow, his hand pulsating with red aura, and beats Leroy viciously before attempting to force him to acknowledge Sho'nuff as the master. As recent events flash before Leroy's eyes, he realizes that his former master was correct and that everything he needs to achieve the final level was within him all along. His entire body bathed in the sublime golden light of the glow, Leroy uses his newfound power to defeat Sho'nuff. Arcadian appears and fires a single bullet.
Hold on. I wanted to pause for a moment as you're reading this. For anybody who's listening to this, please jump to the YouTube video and watch as Zach explains this whole last bit, because he's doing the hand movements and everything, and it's epic.
Dude, I like this movie.
I couldn't tell.
I like this movie. 3 reels. I love this movie.
3 reels. I love this movie.
So yeah, Arcadian, he appears and he fires a single bullet, which Leroy catches between his teeth before detaining Arcadian for the police. Laura and Leroy are reunited at a studio where the two kiss, and it is sensual. And it is sexy.
I have a question for you, Zach, since you're probably a higher rated cinephile than I am with these classical movies.
Classic? Yeah, sure.
Classical meaning anything before the 90s or anything before 2000. We can consider it classic because it's over 20 years old now. Yeah. Why is it nearly in every single martial arts or, movie, the villain shoots a gun and either the hero catches it with his hands or with his teeth? Like, why?
Well, because it is the closest thing that you can show someone getting to a next level, right? Without superpowers, because it is something that you're like, maybe I can do that. Like maybe humans can do it. So I think it displays the maximum potential of human. If you can catch a bullet with your teeth, you're better than humans. That's it.
So I as someone who has many friends in the magic community,
humble brag.
Humble brag, yeah. I have my good buddy Spidey, aka Bedrotha Killian, an amazing mentalist, magician, hypnotist, and who's actually been on Fool Us with Penn and Teller.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, crazy. He also was on Wizard Wars and a few other shows like that. But he told me the secret behind the bullet catch, and obviously Penn and Teller break that secret as well. It is known as a fact that people cannot catch a bullet regardless because it's moving too fast. An arrow we can catch. It's been proven. Mythbusters did it. But a bullet is like traveling at like the speed of sound. Like you're not catching that. There's no way you're going to be able to catch it. No matter how fast you are, no matter what.
Well, my eyes are moving at the speed of light, so I can definitely see it. And if I can see it, I can catch it. And
okay,
I haven't tried, but
do you want to try? Can we try? You guys got guns. You guys got ample access to guns.
No, do you have a gun? No, he didn't bring a gun today, so no guns. Unfortunately,
we can't try that today.
Okay, apparently he does have a gun, but we're not going to do this. Get out of here! Why aren't you on a show, you idiot? He's not really.
No, he's talking to a window, ladies and gentlemen. This movie is so amazing.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's so 80s. Like it encapsulates the 80s like I think no other movie from the 80s can.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like, but it has like every quickly put into it. It's like weirdly racist, it's like it's very chauvinistic. It's a weird movie, but
it's the 80s.
It is
it's the 80s.
It's so 80s. And I was gonna ask you if you had like any favorite like quotes in this, because it's hard to like as a white man, it's hard to quote this movie.
Really? I love how you're like, do you have any favorite quotes? No, not at all. The whole movie's a quote. I love the movie in its entirety. I am not quoting this movie.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna make one quote. Let me bring it back up because there's one quote that I absolutely love. But yeah, so if anybody's watching this, please rate, review, subscribe, hit us up with anything. Let us know if you think there's a movie.
Be like Red. be like Red and write a comment on the YouTube channel. Let us know what your favorite scene is, what your favorite quote is. I'm going to take over from Zach because he doesn't know how to do this stuff. And if you're watching on Facebook, I don't know. I wanted to talk more. If you're watching on Facebook, hit us up with the hashtag live. Let us know where you're watching us from. Let us know what you thought of this movie. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. Let us know where you're watching from. What is your second favorite movie? Since we're doing our top fives, we're on our number 2. Let us know what your second favorite movie is. And then when we start doing the number 1 movies, let us know what your number 1 movie is. And go back and watch our previous episodes and let us know what your movie is at that level. Because we want to know.
Please.
And how great my picks of movies are. Please, I need the validation. These guys don't like me.
Well, like you, just not your choice of movies. Which is
I think there's one movie that everybody liked on that list. It was my Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah, that's fair. No, you're right. That is good. All right, so I'm actually not gonna do that quote because
why not, Mike? Why not, Jack? Why not?
Stop calling me Michael.
I'm sorry, you're my enemy on this episode. I don't have an enemy to talk to.
We're getting along. We're getting along very well, by the way. Yeah, I know. I don't like it. Yeah, it's because there's nobody else for me to get along with. I need to like just team up against somebody. So yeah, honestly, F Michael. I hate that dude.
Poor Michael. Actually, Michael gave a great review of this movie, I think. Hold on. Let me bring it up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and read. So this coming Friday, we're going to be doing Dune. We weren't.
Wait, the remake or the original?
The original. No, the remake. The new one.
Okay.
Because it comes out on HBO. It comes out on HBO Max this Friday. So you can tune in to catch whatever real boys show up to chat about Dune this coming Friday. Now, keep in mind, and I need everyone to know this, Dylan is probably the biggest Dune fan that I've ever seen, ever.
So I've read the book. I can't remember. I read the book when I was in like 2004. I think I read the book 2004, 2005. Watched the movie maybe in 2010. So I haven't seen the original or read the book in such a long time. And I am very excited to watch the remake because one, it has Jason Momoa in it, and I just love Jason Momoa. But also it's by Denis Villeneuve, a Quebec director who's just fantastic with his visuals. So I'm very, very excited to look like this. So Mike didn't leave us a big review. All he said was, fun movie, though. 7 reels. Mike, you fail us. You're usually the wordsmith of the group and leave us with a beautiful rendition on why or why not you hate a movie. And I'm feeling left down, really.
Yeah, I love that you're like, he left us a really good review. And his review was, I don't feel like talking about this movie. It was fun, though.
Because he usually does leave a good review. I remember he put like 7 reels. So I'm like, oh yeah, he wrote something. And then it was like, fun movie, 7 reels.
Yeah, it's true. This movie is fun. I mean, that is one easy way of saying it. Like, you can watch this entire movie with such a weird smile on your face. I don't know why I keep freezing.
Because you have bad Wi-Fi.
No, well, probably. But I'm trying to open up like too many screens at one time, but whatever. I'm going to cancel doing that. Because I was going to try to find out what the next Monday movie is.
Oh,
you know what it is offhand? Oh, good. Yeah, so this Friday, Dune. And yeah, dude, Villeneuve.
Newtown. Pretty much it means Newtown. His literal translation is Newtown.
Oh, cool. Because honestly, dude, The Arrival is such a beautiful movie. And if it had that kind of scope to it with what I've seen, and Dune, for those who don't know, the reason Star Wars is as cool as it is because it was ripping off Dune hardcore. Pretty much any sci-fi that you can think of has ripped off Dune. And I think so. The old movie that was directed by David Lynch, which is a very interesting and cool movie. David Lynch did not like that idea. He didn't like the story. He never really read anything about it. He just wanted to make a really cool sci-fi movie. Newtown, he's gonna do a great job. So yeah, this Friday, check out the Road Boys as we review the new Dune, 2021's Dune. Is it Dune or Dune?
Dune. I have no idea. we didn't update the list.
Who did?
I don't know. Whoever takes care of our list says October. We got Dune. We got Idiocracy, which we already reviewed.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
And then it goes to the... Oh, wait, sorry. We got Bond.
What do you mean it was me? Okay, apparently it's my job to do
that. Last Dragon, Halloween Kills, or They Live. Hold on.
Oh, They Live.
They Live. Oh, yeah, it's on Peacock. It's Dylan Terry's number 2.
Dylan Terry's number 2, They Live. Wait, is that the next number 2 movie?
Yeah, because we have... hold on.
Last Dragon, and then what?
Last Dragon. Yeah, okay, we got Last Dragon, Halloween. We're supposed to do Halloween Kills. There's Bond, No Time to Die. We also have on the thing Dune as well. Halloween Kills, They Live, Last Night in Soho. I'm looking forward. Then we got Training Day, and then we're into November. And in November we start with Chris Harvey's is Lion King. Yeah, and then we do his number 1, and we're in the number 1s. No, it's not.
I know. It's a movie he's in, which is really
he's
cool.
In this one? Seriously, is he in that movie?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, so this Friday
we have to ask Chris.
If he ever shows up on the show, we'll definitely ask him in person. All right, so we have Dune this Friday, and then next Monday is Dylan Terry's number 2 favorite movie and Roddy Piper's best movie ever. Oh yeah, They Live. Yeah, such a movie.
The most iconic quote of any wrestling movie is from this.
Yeah.
I came to chew bubblegum and kick asses, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Boom. It's done. Yeah, that's all you need. Yeah, so you can watch that on Peacock. But yeah, so tune in next Friday / Monday. Now, Phil, before we get out of here, we have Michael Colby's reels, 7 reels. How many reels are you going to give this thing?
I'm going to give it a glowing. Oh, see what I did there? Glowing 7. It's a 7. It's 80s. You know what? No, because it's from the 80s, I'm giving it an 8. I'm going to give it to an 8. I'm going to round it up to an 8 because of the gooiness of the 80s. That is gooiness all over this, or glowing all over this. Sorry. The glowing 80s. How many times can Phil say glow in a sentence? Yeah, 8 reels, just because of how epic this movie is and how thankful that I got to see this. This is my first time watching this movie, and
cool.
I am so excited. I was so happy watching it. I had a, like you said, stupid smile on my face watching this movie going, my God, like this is stupid, but at the same time, so fucking good.
Yeah, so cool, so weirdly interesting. Just it's like rock candy, you know. We're like, is this? Am I supposed to? Oh, I gotta love this. I don't know what this is, but I love it. Yeah, this. Please check out this movie. I am gonna give it. Honestly, I'm gonna give it 7.5. I think I'm right in between you and Colby. Find it very entertaining. It is aggressively quotable. There's so many times that I was just like, who's the baddest mother around? It's like, sure enough, I'm like, nah, I probably shouldn't be saying this.
There were other words in that quote, ladies and gentlemen, that he wasn't saying.
Never have, never will. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 7.5, which I think from the real boys that have reviewed this is gonna get a glowing 7.5. Yeah. We like this movie. This movie is just fun. There are better movies that we reviewed. There are worse movies we reviewed. But I don't know if there's that many just fun movies from beginning to end. I mean, it's a tight 90 minutes, not a whole lot in here. Berry Gordy, what a weird dude. But yeah, he did it. So, we check out this movie. Leave what you think about this. Let us know if this is worth a number 2 favorite movie. And you can hit up Jerrion Smith on the Cloud Chronicles on Facebook, on YouTube, all the cool stuff
on TikTok. He's blowing up on TikTok,
dude. He's blowing up everywhere. Yeah. Now hit up Jerrion and tell him how much you do or don't like this movie, and whether or not he should or shouldn't have this as his number 2, which he should. It's a good movie. But you can find, like I said, the Cloud Chronicles. And I'm going to hit right. That's this one. Yeah, cool. All right. Now we also have to talk about Mr. Justin Wallace. He's a very busy man. He's got like 6 jobs and like a podcast. And
doesn't he have 2 podcasts? Oh wait, no, the car's broken, so that one's down. Oh. Such a horrible person.
If they're driving, carpool shenanigans. If they're standing still outside of a 7-Eleven, anime shenanigans. Sometimes he goes down into bumper sticker shenanigans, and honestly, that's one of my favorites. But yeah, you can check him out at anime shenanigans. The dude is so freaking funny. So please check him out. Now you also have the guy who created all this and is the reason this exists, which is Mr. DL Smokes. You can find him in some kitchens of 5-star restaurants.
Yeah,
and also
he's an amazing chef.
Yeah, amazing chef. And Oops Caught Me Smoking.
And Bet That as well
show.
with Jerrion Smith. They both
Bet
have that. Yeah, Bet That.
What a that's a good name.
You just froze there, so I didn't hear anything you said. So it's fine.
I fake froze that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. Okay. We also have Mr. Chris Harvey. So in 2 weeks, we're gonna have his number 2 movie, which is The Lion King. So yeah, that's a fine movie.
My question is it the original Lion King or is it the remake Lion King?
Well, I'm assuming it's the original, since the remake is the original with a cast. What? It's a better cast. It's just a weird movie. Because
they should have animated the animals just a bit more to give it a little bit of that,
Yeah, I need facial features. You know what I mean? Or else I'm just looking at cats, and that's fine. But
if I'm watching a cat video.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like that's fine, but give me some expressions. The only problem with the 90s Lion King is just it's a very white cast. I mean, like it's just whatever. It's still a great movie. But yeah, you got to check out Chris Harvey over in Atlanta somewhere. He'll be telling a lot of jokes as he greets you as you walk into a Costco. And that's always great. You have my sister from another Mr. Dylan Terry. That dude is he's always writing some stuff. And if you like the words, he's an amazing writer. He has $5 words, and you should give him $5 for that. So please, Dylan Terry money. But no, he's a great writer, and check him out, Vorpal Words on Twitter. We also have the incomparable, the disgusting, the vile Michael Colby.
You said it, not me. I can't get in trouble this time.
Well, I was reading what you're putting in the private chat, so it's kind of
okay.
I'm just quoting you. But no, dude, he if there's one person that
my arch enemy
fun as Dylan, it's not Michael Colby, but he's definitely up there. No, his shows are great. Jack Billings Presents, one of the coolest shows. One of the reasons that we started doing podcasting, and that's the truth. When we started doing fictional podcasts at the very beginning, we actually Googled best fictional podcast. Jack Billings Presents was one of the ones that showed up, and I binged the thing, and it baffled me. And that made us do Silicon Angels, which is slightly better, but still very, very good. Let's see. Who else we got here? Who else? How about this person?
Oh, apparently he's a cool guy. I heard he's a dick, though. He's a capitalist pig who only likes money.
Yeah, he likes American money, which is weird.
He likes American money, and he's a Canadian. Yeah. It's funny. But he has these 2 podcasts. He has actually like 6 podcasts that he's on. All of them in the top 10% of podcasts worldwide in listens, just saying. But he interviews some great entrepreneurs in the digital world to learning how they make money. Then he has some random podcasts that he has. What was one of the random ones that you mentioned last week that he was on?
Yeah, the one that me and Michael Colby just found about was called "What the Canuck," and it's like the most interesting thing that you've ever done. Which I don't know how you found the only Circle K gas station in Quebec, but the fact that you just asked, it's amazing the conversations that you can get out of that. I didn't even know the history of the Canuck. I honestly still don't. I really don't.
I'm still trying to find that history, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to find it.
Yeah. So
I feel sorry for anybody who listens to this and actually thinks that's one of my podcasts.
Yeah. Streaming the streams. We have a beaver chat. We have Muskin. What was the one about the beaver musk? Where you just spray random people and see if it's an aphrodisiac? I forget. Either way, check out.
That's my YouTube channel. That's my YouTube channel.
The guy's got a billion things going on, but really, the cherry on top. Really,
son of a. That's the director chair. That's where you get the power.
What a twist to all the Shyamalan movies. The Zach Wiseman, ladies and gentlemen. What a twist. Yeah, honestly, whatever. You can find me if you want to. It's no big deal. But yeah, so that's us. We're gonna get done talking here. But yeah, we appreciate this movie. We appreciate you for listening. And if anything else, drink some water. We need you to hang out. We need you to be there. What are you drinking? What's in your
Water.
Oh, yeah,
It's
right.
actually funny enough. This is coming from one of my sponsors, Sarla Rugby, a rugby team out in France that is dominating their.
Listen, you're muted. You're not gonna push on another show on the. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, I'm not doing it anymore. Done.
You watch rugby?
Yeah, actually, I do. I watched it. So I interviewed on my podcast, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast, Dom Einhorn, who actually bought the team in 2020. They were going to go under. This is an over 100-year-old team in the town of Sarlat, France. They were going to go under because of COVID. His company and him bought the team and rebranded it to Sarla Rugby because they had the official name of the town as their name. And as anybody who watched sports, you can't have this giant fucking name as your sports team. You need to shorten it. So he recreated it, rebranded it, and started bringing in actually great players to the team. And his goal is in the next 5 years to get them to the second level of professional rugby in France. And France has a very insane rugby league, and so his team is right now dominating. There are a lot of points up in. I don't know how points work in rugby, but they've been winning every game pretty much since the start of the season. It is insane how they're doing. Go check them out. They live stream their games on their website, sarlarrugby.tv, and so you can get to watch the games.
Do you get touchdowns in rugby?
You have they have a yes and no, because you have to actually physically take the ball and touch the touchdown in the end zone. So like most of them run and they end up jumping and dropping down on the ball. And I'm like, how do you not get winded? And you have to remember, they don't play with any protection. The only protection they have is a cup. And they're like full contact. And these guys, I've interviewed them, they're fucking massive. They put linebackers to shame because they can move faster than a linebacker, and they're the size of a linebacker. So it's insane.
Do they have rugby movies? I remember the one with Matt Damon.
Yeah, so you have Invictus. Yeah, it's Invictus with Morgan Freeman and Matt Damon.
Which I thought was a watch.
It is I don't